Looks pretty good.
Rock and roll. I went to New Zealand to visit my friend, and he was going to have a film screening at the University of Canterbury in Christchurch. And I got off the plane, and the sniffer dogs smelled something on me, and they went for all my stuff, and I had just like $50 in my wallet and just like a bag full of DVDs. And they saw this title of one film, it was called Final Feces, and they're like, oh, what's this? And they watched it, and they didn't like it at all, and they were like, they gave me the opportunity to like call a lawyer, which I didn't have any money to, or the Australian embassy, or I could just fly back on the next plane to Australia and they could deal with me, or I could submit to a strip search. And so I just submitted to a strip search, which was, not much fun. But the guy who did it, he looked like the guy from at the start of Brain Dead, Peter Jackson's Brain Dead. He's like, I'm a New Zealand zoo official and this monkey's going to Newtown. So it's really weird. Well, I was like naked in front of this strange man who looked like this actor from Brain Dead. So I tried to like lighten up the moment. I was like, oh, I guess Peter Jackson won't be watching my movies. He's like, Peter Jackson wouldn't want to watch this filth. But he said it in a real funny Kiwi accent. I had to try to stifle my laughter a bit. But yeah, because of the content in that film, and it's a shot with injecting drugs, and the big one was obviously, apart from the injecting drugs, obviously they thought it was smuggling drugs into the country. They've got like weird laws of pornography about like golden showers and scat and stuff like that. You can go to like jail for 10 years. So I think the real problem was the graphicness of the pool on the coffee table. I was in there for hours. I had to call in like the head customs guy who stamped it like, yep, this is objectionable to New Zealand moral standards or something. So they confiscated all my movies. But they didn't confiscate the tape that was in my camera, which also had a copy of the film on it. So the show was still going ahead, even though it was just going to be one film instead of all the other ones, because they just confiscated the lot. And we were walking there, it was like freezing cold, like snow 2 feet high. Walked for like an hour to find this place, and just as we got there was a big blackout, and like for like 10 blocks there was no power anywhere. So we couldn't do the screening at the university, but luckily the lady who's the head of the Film Appreciation Society turned up, and she took us back to her place, and we watched the movies on her computer with her flatmates.
Okay.
With no sound, because for some reason the tape in my camera there's no sound on it. I don't know what happened there, but so they're trying to watch this movie and I'm trying to like do all the dialogue at the same time, and I had to do it all by myself because Jesse, who's my friend who acted in Marty Don't Surf, he hadn't seen the film either. So long story short, I got back to Australia and I was peeking out thinking, am I going to get arrested or something? And nothing happened, which was good. And about 2 months later, this is when I was still living with Carl in Sandy Bay, before he kicked me out, I got like a package from Customs with all the discs back and a letter saying, your films have been rated, so we're sending them back, but please rethink any future travel to New Zealand. And I got a 9-page letter from them, and they were talking about all the movies, and it's really funny because I like talking about the bad quality of everything. I was like, oh, shouldn't they just like rate the film? They shouldn't talk about just how bad the acting is.